Did either trolley, and when we go down this street, you're going to be able to see the lights that shine over the street. I mean, they're not on during the daytime, but they really light this area up. And at the next intersection we're going to go to, there's this metal ring, actually two of them. They go around the center of the intersection, and it's a light ring that has LED lights all on it. And at nighttime, it's lit up, it changes colors, and it just really makes this place, shine at nighttime. Very popular place for the students from TCU also. Although the Frogs lost the baseball game last night, they are now out. But you can see the lights up above the street here as you look down, and that ring lights up too. It casts a really beautiful shadow when the sun's out as well. But this West 7th area, they'll shut some of the streets down on the weekends to make it all pedestrian. And it's real quiet down here right now. Come down here at night, there'll be thousands of people out on the street. Lots of folks eating at Social House or Pork and Pig. Maybe they're checking into a movie on the left-hand side. You notice how they say movies never tasted so good? That's because while you're watching the movie, you can push a button, your waiter will bring you your food or your wine or your beer, whatever you'd like. And that's just a nice way to see a movie. Now for me, all I need is a good honky tonk. I don't need much. Fred's, Texas, left-hand side. That is my favorite place for happy hour. I love Fred's because they got good, huge Texas-style burgers. They've got coldest beer and the best happy hour prices I've found. So Fred's is a good place to go to. They have live music 7 days a week also. America's Garden, left-hand side, another great place. If you're into like the, right? Well, they chose this spot right here. And from this spot, you can look all out over the river valley down below to the north. Pretty good vantage point to have a fort. It was also kind of handy that we have the river right here, kind of worked as a moat, like a moat to a castle. But the Trinity River is the lifeblood of Fort Worth, and you can definitely see for a while. Imagine this with no buildings out there. Now we're going to take about a 2-mile run down the street right here, and it's not that picturesque. But I got water one day, and darn the luck, he happened to hit oil instead. What kind of terrible luck is that? But after that, he was wealthy enough to open up his own bank. Fortunately, it's in the process of being torn down because that building just doesn't belong with the rest of them. So if you get a picture of it now, come back in a few weeks, it won't be here. But as we enter the Stockyards area now, you're going to see it's kind of the old brick and the old wood front buildings. They say that Bonnie and Clyde used to come down here. Clyde being from the Dallas area. They both claim that any town that's got a chili parlor as good as Fort Worth, Texas will never be robbed by Bonnie and Clyde. And they like the chili in the White Elephant restaurant. The place is run by celebrity chef Tim Love. He's got a couple of places down here. But Bonnie and Clyde wouldn't go out last weekend. All these parking lots were full because you want to talk culture, Texas culture, they had a gun show in there, and it was full. They'll do hiring events and trade county college. Yeah, that's a community college and a beautiful one at that. The fountains light up at nighttime. It's just gorgeous. You ever heard of but that's a hopping DJ type of nightclub place at nighttime. It's kind of cool. You ever heard the phrase, everything's bigger in Texas? Well, it's true. Coming up on the left-hand side, you're going to find Varsity Tavern. And they play beer pong here at Varsity Tavern. You know when they have the ping pong balls you throw into the red Solo cups? Look at the size of those giant red cups down at the bottom of the steps. Yeah, those are for beer pong. He used trash cans in a giant beach ball sized ball. So everything is bigger in Texas. Now for me, when I want to hear some good music, I'm more of a blues type of guy, blues and rock. I like Magnolia Motor Lodge, it's more my style. Now with everything being bigger in Texas, you see Coyote Ugly, you may have seen the movie. Well, they're tripling the size of Coyote Ugly. And one thing, don't worry at all about it. When you see those girls dancing up on the bar, if they fall off, there's an emergency room right next door. They'll be fine. Small things. They ask if you're a professional photographer, check in with them at the visitor center first. They may want to publish some of your pictures if you get some good ones. They ask that you please don't bring your pets into the garden, and also that you do not. The Pinkerton men saw that picture, and they started asking, is that Bush and Sundance? Yes, sir. Very healthy tree. You'll notice some of the branches are growing straight up again. And that's kind of the same with me. I've been knocked down a few times, but you know what? I'll turn a branch into a root, and I'm going to keep on going. So I find that tree to be just inspirational. During the flood of 1949, Montgomery Wards, which was on the right-hand side in what we now call Montgomery Tower, had 20 feet of water in the first few floors. It was quite the ordeal to get around here. They said the only way to do it for about 2 weeks was by boat. Now, over the years, that place got hit by the tornado. It was devastated by it, but it's come back too. Now you have retail on the lower floors, 240 loft apartments on the upper floors. There's even a swimming pool, cabanas, and fire pits up on the roof. So it's a neat area to go to. But everything has changed down here. This West 7th area, as we call it, is a nightlife area for the most part. And it's called West 7th because we're on 7th Street. You want to guess what direction we're heading?
7th Street.
Yep. Well, he said there's nothing bigger and more important than mothers. But there's also an identical mother's sign in London, England. He never named any of his pieces. That British man just numbered his pieces. And that's installation number 1357. You recall when I was talking about the Montgomery Plaza, that big Montgomery Wards building that got remade. In just a moment, you'll be able to see it on the left-hand side of the street. It just stands out over the city. Off on the right-hand side of the trolley, you're going to be crossing the Trinity River again. You'll see a dam that crosses the river. I mentioned the rain the other night. When you look down at the dam, it probably now it's most likely rather normal. But we got so much rain so fast when I drove by here that next morning, you couldn't even see any of the rocks of the dam. It was just completely covered in water. You'll find names such as Annie Oakley. You remember the movie with Tom Hanks in Toy Story 2? That little doll Jessie is in the Cowgirl Hall of Fame. All the Ingalls girls from Little House on the Prairie, they're in there. The real girls, not the actresses. And even Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor. She is also a cowgirl. The Fort Worth Museum of Science and History, where we have our planetarium and our Omnimax movie theater. They charge $7 to go into the Japanese garden. Now, the way to really see this area is to get out and walk some of the trails. But I want to give you just a little taste of what you'll see. Let's make a wave. There you go. So I want to give you a little taste of what you'll see here at Fort Worth if you come to our Botanic Gardens and walk around. We're going to hop out here for a second because I noticed you like taking pictures. So what I'd like you to do is just go right over there underneath that roof. You know what the most common cause of death for a cowboy was during a cattle drive? Drowning. Who knew? River crossings. That's what killed more of them. And a lot of people think, wow, cowboys are those rugged men. A lot of times they were actually boys. It would not be uncommon to have 14 and 15-year-old boys on a cattle drive. Happened all the time. Post office. Walk in there, just take a look around, snap some pictures. It's one of the most beautiful post offices I've ever seen. And it's neat to see. This area wasn't always the nice area that it is now. Because of the railway, on the right-hand side, it's now been converted into Texas Pacific lofts. Loft apartments and meeting space down below, conference area. But because of the railway, this area was once called Hell's Half Acre. Now you come down on the acre, you better be a tough guy because it was a rough and tumble place. Understand that the cowboys had been on the cattle drive for months sometimes. And after a month out on a cattle drive, they'd come in, they'd drop off their cattle at the railhead, they got a pocket full of money, and they're going down on the acre to celebrate. They'd be drinking and gambling and looking for ladies to entertain them in the evening, so to speak. Railwaymen would too. Railwaymen, they'd walk down onto the acre bringing their lanterns with them. Of course, the madams wouldn't allow the lanterns out into the houses, so they had to leave them outside. $400,000 on a building so extravagant. And so, it's government money. We don't have that kind of money laying around. But Texas was still coming out of everything the destruction that they had gone through with the Civil War. But the government said they needed to make something that looked nice like the state capitol in Austin. Difference is we've got a clock tower instead of Roy Thunder. But the people were still upset. And they vowed that they would vote out of office anybody who supported the plan to build that courthouse. Sure enough, the next year, everybody was gone. If that place looks familiar to you at all, and you see the steps there on the side of the building, that might be because you may be a fan of a television show called Walker, Texas Ranger. Every time you saw him walking up the steps to his office, it was the courthouse over here on the left-hand side. With all the canals that we plan on doing down in the floodplain, we're starting to train the people. Because of all the sensitive documents and financial documents, they wouldn't allow anybody to wander around the downtown area, except for the FBI and the police. And for about 2 weeks, it was empty downtown. But over the years, the last 17 years, they built this new bridge going into the West 7, which this lights up really nicely at night. It crosses the Trinity River. They've completely remodeled this whole area because almost all of it was gone. But I got to do one thing as soon as we cross the bridge and get to this light. I have to do a little tip of the hat. Being an old soldier, you kind of understand this too. But we have a fallen police and firefighters memorial on the left-hand side. My son is currently a full-time firefighter and a part-time soldier. So we'll tip the hat. I hope I never see his name on a wall. This area is going through tornadoes and went through a major flood. I want to show you a tree that I find
Real Texas steer.
Oh, yeah. Y'all want to get up for a picture?
We didn't bring enough cash on hand this time, but we wanted to check out. Sorry, we take pictures. We wanted to see the
Steer.
His name's Patron.
Patron.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
old is he?
He's 15.
Visiting the Texas Longhorns. Texas Longhorns ahead. Let's see them up over there close up this way. On the pen. Playing across that bridge with his children. Watch your step. Let's go see. We'll be on this side, so we gotta walk over there to see them. See the Texas Longhorns. Watch out for the poop. Because they are poopers. Look at Texas Longhorn. Longhorn. Touch this horn. Touching the horn. Don't touch my horn. Ooh, he doesn't like that. Wow, look at those horns.
I love it how they have this whole thing.
Y'all don't stand on that. Get down. Sir, if you can move out the alley, I got more cattle coming.
Okay. Here comes some cows coming. We go over this way. Here come the cows.
What are they doing? Mommy, is that the nails? Is that the female?
Cows are coming. There's a fight. Oh, some of them are mad. Put on the horse ride. The Stockyard Station lunch at Whiskey's Barbecue Shops at the Stockyard Station. They ordered the brisket tacos. This is Monday special brisket tacos, what I ordered. Texas saddles. They range in price from $1,000 to almost $2,000 for these saddles. For example, this one here, $1,700 for the saddle. There's some really nice full saddles. This one here is only $900. Get some horse saddles. For lunch, I'm having brisket tacos with fries. I didn't want the red beans, so I got fries instead.
So far, so good.
Stockyards, Longhorn General Store. Longhorn General Store. Stockyards. This is the railroad. Walk on the railroad. Stockyard Station. All kinds of little shops here. We're going to go to Kokopelli Jewelry, Spice and Tea Exchange, KO Trading, Stockyard Sports, Candy Bell. Oh, Candy Bell. Texas hot stuff. Fresh version of Texas hot stuff. Make it fun there. Here we go, lunch and daily specials. Here's the burger place over here. Trade Boss Burgers. Trade Boss Burgers over there. The Stockyards Visitor Center in Dallas, Fort Worth. And you walk through here, you get to get cooled off by the fan. Oh no, the fan's gonna cool off. Texas Cowboy Hall of Fame. Fort Worth.
Head east on East Exchange Avenue.
Fort Worth City Hall. Little horse. He's like, you got any food? You got any food to give me? Looks a little bit like Winnie. It's a big version of Winnie. This is the horse. So give me some food. Not the stable horse. Love and live with the horse. Do not pet or feed the horses. Horse! Well, that's a big horse. One big horse. It smells like horse in here. Look at the horse. Go horse, go. All kinds of horse in the barn. That's a really neat horse. Get to see the rear end of the horse. Whoa, this just made some noise. Go horse, go. Look, there's the horse head. There's the horse right there. Look at the horse, he's right there in his face. You got any food for me? Don't pet him. Look, wild turkeys. Go wild turkeys, go. Okay, this is a site where John Kennedy spent his last night at the Hilton in Dallas. And now we're going to the car to go to the stockyard.